Hi and welcome to Draw Along Club number 9. So every month we do a Draw Along Club where we put up poses on the screen and we draw them and we narrate the process. So if you want to draw along with us, you can get your sketchbook out. And I draw together with my mum Mako, who runs Love Life Drawing with me. And
Hello.
we use photos from Croquis Cafe, which is a really, really good resource if you need to practice regularly. Check out their reference photos. So the first pose is 30 seconds, no time to think, no time to worry about corrections, no time to worry about anything, really just put some lines down quick as you can, right?
I think 30 seconds is the shortest I ever done.
Yeah. How did you feel about it then?
It's in a way, not relaxing, but you have an excuse. Oh, this is just 30 seconds, so I can't expect much.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to take the pressure off yourself because you know it's not going to be some perfect drawing, and you just got to get whatever lines capture the essence of the pose as simply as possible, right? Because you don't have time for any fancy stuff. So,
by the way, I just noticed you're using a kind of brush pen.
Yeah, I'm copying you. I realized I got a brush pen for free with my I get pens I think they're called microns. And one of them was a sort of brush pen, so I thought it's perfect for these really quick poses because
you use very well.
Yeah, thanks. I really like it. So
amazing. Did you practice?
Well, normally I draw with the fine liner pens, right? And the reason that I decided to try out the brush pen is because the fine liner pen, you got to build up some lines for that, right? To have an impact. Whereas with the brush pen, it's a little bit more powerful. You can vary the thickness a lot more. So you can get down some more powerful marks more quickly with it. So that's why I thought this would be cool.
Oh, you used it really well. Well done.
Thank you. I've been watching you do it. So, but there's this is a 60-second pose now, right?
Oh yes, bit of more time.
Yeah, it feels like so much longer when you've just been doing 30 seconds to have 60 seconds. But yeah, there's some materials where it's powerful instantly, right? Like charcoal, you can get a lot of power with one stroke of the charcoal.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas some stuff, like for example, a colored pencil, maybe, or
graphite,
like not always, but often they need to be built up a bit, and they're a little bit more subtle.
That's true. But the brush pen or charcoal line itself become expression because you can give kind of accent.
Right, you can vary them, and the tones they put down are very deep and rich. And I'd say these brush pens are like that too.
Yeah, I think that's good material to try out, but need a bit of a practice. So, I think you should prepare for that. You can't, if you're first time user, probably need a bit of practice. This one, I'm using empty kind of water brush, and I filled with very diluted blue watercolor.
I can see it. Yeah.
So that kind of I underdrawing rather than go to black straight away. But you use, what is this? Is that
that's the fine liner, the micron.
The one I'm
the one you hate.
Yeah, I mean I don't hate. Simply I can't use well. That's all.
So it's a kind of waterproof ink, so you can later I'll put some watercolors on it. But so you started with that geometric shape. And so...
Yeah, because this sports is really, lovely. You can put almost every part in one big triangle. So
it's really kind of obvious, isn't it, when you see this pose, that shape. And if you guys haven't seen it, we put out a video about how to start a figure drawing. And one of the options is a geometric shape, because that's something that you really like using, right?
Yeah, it just suits me quite naturally. I see pattern of 2D geometric shape in my case, because I just noticed through some comment in your Lucy and Dance, that the successful video. Mostly comment are positive, but some people seem to have.
You're talking about the video where they're drawing the tonal shapes of a face as if they're abstract. Yeah.
I have an impression some people are very suspicious, skeptical about use of 2D geometrical shape like a triangle, square, circle, rather than cylinder, cone, cube, sphere. I understand that because a traditional kind of purpose of drawing in Western world is to create kind of a virtual 3D on the 2D surface. So naturally, people are more, willing to use 3D shape like a cylinder, cube, sphere. But your method in that video is using a flat 2D shape, like a pattern, isn't it? I think you can use 2D pattern with confidence, because whatever you do in drawing or painting, you are always dealing with the 2D surface, even if you are aim to create a super 3D realistic image. World of drawing is a 2D world, whatever you put on it. So, and also 2D geometric shape is very flexible. You can add 3Dness afterwards. So I think that the suspicion towards 2D shape is, you can relax about it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's true. I think there's a place for both, definitely. And I can understand why people like to think about the structure, right? They like to construct and we like that too, right? Figures and stuff like that from shapes, 3D shapes and things. I think that's fantastic. But you that's not the only skill that you need to have for a drawing, and it's not the only way of seeing a face or a figure. So there's also the light and the dark, and there's also more abstract shapes that you can use to help, for example, when the figure's foreshortened. So, there's no sort of restrictions like everything has to be done this way or that way. It's all tools, and you use the tool. You have this tool, 2D geometric shapes, 3D shapes, anatomy, all kinds of tools, gesture, and you use these tools to achieve the effects that you want. Yeah. So it's not rules. There's no rules.
Hey, you are cheating. This is more than 5 minutes.
That's true, yeah. And so that there's no rules, like I just said. So yeah, I'm totally cheating.
You put lovely watercolor. That's great.
Yeah. Sometimes at the end, it's so one thing I learned from Chris Glib, who we've got a video about, really nice pen drawings that he does. He's very linear as well.
Yeah.
He often puts, at the end with his fine liner, he'll get a thick fine liner and just go around the edge of his figure. And it kind of gives it a sort of graphic container line. So that's something that I
give
like
expression to line instead of putting a correct gradation of shade.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of a Eastern approach, I must say.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess in Japanese art, it's a lot more 2D and more flat tones.
Line is very important.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't mean shade is absent. There is a kind of wash, like a Chinese painting, sumie. Sumie is a kind of a calligraphic ink drawing, ink painting. Has got a lovely shade, but the concept of shading is quite different from Western way. I think both are valuable. Not question of right and wrong. It's a different approach.
Yeah, that's why I don't like words like, rules or correct and incorrect. It's just tools and effects, and you just figure out there's different ways to achieve different things.
Yeah, so you get a different result, so you have to decide.
Yeah. Like this style that you're doing is not your usual style. You're trying something different, right? You're experimenting.
I don't know. I just see doing what I see. I mean, I use again brush pen.
Yeah, you got the light watercolor drawing, and then you're going with ink over it, right?
Yeah, because ink you can't redo like a dry medium. So I put light blue first and made for example, I saw big letter P in his pose.
Right.
Can you
okay.
see P?
Right.
That,
so his
back and his left leg make a big P. Letter P.
Yeah. So from his left foot going up to his left knee.
Yeah.
And then to his head, and then round to his butt, and then down his thigh, a P.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's what I saw first. So I put it at the beginning with the light blue. Then using that as a kind of scaffolding, I try to express more kind of 3Dness. I mean, there isn't any shade, but yeah. Yoda has got a proper shading.
Yeah, with watercolor, I just try and choose a cool and a warm. Cool.
That's very good.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy way to make a drawing. But so that P shape that you're seeing, it's like any way you can to see past the figure and stop worrying about, this is his back. Oh, it's all foreshortened. This is unfamiliar. And instead you see that P shape and go with that. And suddenly you can see what your eyes are seeing. Instead of thinking, anatomy, foreshortening, this and that. You're just trusting your eyes once you start to see things like that.
But I try not to forget it's a human flesh, not the balloon.
Right, yeah. So at some point you got to bring it back to the humanity, right?
Yeah.
Re-inject that.
But things like a letter or 2D pattern, maybe for some people it sounds very primitive and childish, but I think that's a good way to see things as if first time.
So yeah, you often see like J type lines in the figure, right?
I see J often, yes. I mean,
the letter J.
Thin J, fat J. Yeah. How about you? You don't see that?
what you mean by the J is kind of it starts out fairly straight and then it curves towards the end a little bit. And I think the reason you often see that is because that's kind of often the shape of a lot of muscles, right? They kind of extend over a length and then they curve off at the end. And so that's one reason why you might see a lot of J's on the contours of the figure.
I've never thought in that analytical way. Just I see lots of J. Thing is that letter J contain convex curve and almost straight but a slightly curved line, and it goes well with the human figure, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think of it, but you do, and I guess the point is that you find these little things that help you along the way, and you discard the stuff that doesn't help you, and you keep what does. And so for you, seeing this letter J in the contours, like all kinds of stretched ones and deeper curves and things, like a letter J, that helps you. And so you've kept that. Is that something that you thought of yourself, that you found yourself, or that you heard from someone else?
Letter J?
Yeah.
I often do that, but I think when I was young, one old teacher, he was very good. His name was Joseph, and as a joke, he wrote the letter J. And the J is everywhere. I think he said that partially as a joke because his initial is a J, but also he really meant it's good to see.
In what? In the figure?
Yeah, life drawing. He was a life drawing teacher.
Okay, and that stuck with you?
Yeah. And afterwards I thought, oh, that's true. There are so many J. And not only J, I see like a previous one, I see P or Japanese hiragana, the tsu. You know tsu, that the Japanese tsu, letter tsu?
Yeah.
It's a lovely
so it's a sort of deep curve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, your drawing is good, but what is what guides you to draw in that way? You draw head first.
Yeah, so we're always saying, start from the big simple shape, right?
Yeah.
Which is often like the torso and keeping it simple, but I didn't do that at all. I went with the face first. Partly it's the material, right? Because I'm using a fine liner and I'm not doing an underdrawing. So you just got to go straight into it.
Oh.
So you can't do like an initial structural layer or something, or like light gestural marks or whatever. You got to go straight into the lines that are going to be the final lines. So you almost do have to, if you want to have detail in the final drawing, you kind of have to start with those in there. So it's not the best material if you're starting out, I think.
No way.
Yeah, it doesn't teach you great habits.
I don't recommend it at all. I mean, you use very well, but I think it's better to use more flexible material to start with, like a charcoal.
I think charcoal is really, really good because you can move it around, replace it, and it gives you those deep, rich tones. And especially a stick of willow charcoal, because then it encourages you to use that overhand grip. And
more forgiving because you can just wipe away with your finger.
But it's also, it's not so precise that you get bogged down in tiny, tiny details like you can with a sharp pencil,
But I don't know. I just realized you are very sensitive about all those tones. But I'm chasing line.
More about lines than about the tones, the light and dark. But, in your pastels, it's all color, right? Which is, you're basically putting down lots of blocks of tone.
Yes, similar, but it's not exactly same tone and the color. I see color directly. I don't translate tonal gradation into color. I just put it as a color.
But that's impossible, right? Because if you put down these darker, cooler colors in the shadow areas, and you've got highlights
there is a kind
and
of
stuff like that.
System, yes.
So colors have value, whether you like it or not, and you're capturing the values, the tones in the figure with your colors in your pastel drawings.
No, that's true. Yeah.
So you're good at both.
Your way definitely has got a kind of a tonal system. Put dark with a cool color first, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I use that because I'm not yet good enough with color. A lot of people like you or some of the artists that we've analyzed, like we're about to do some videos about Steve Rude, and the colors, the way you guys do colors is intuitive, because you just have a lot of experience, right? So in your pastel drawings, for example, you got these really vibrant, varied colors, but it's all based on your intuition and experience. Whereas I'm still figuring this stuff out, so I think about it a little bit.
No, I think not entirely intuitive, but they need some kind of a system. I mean, you have to decide, this light cream is a highlight, this bluish gray is a shadow. You establish kind of system for that particular occasion.
Yeah.
Need some kind of a system, but once again, there isn't one right system. Just you decide what you use. I took until now to figure out what this pose is doing. It's quite a subtle, isn't it? It's not just a side view. Her body is come forward one side. So I took ages to work it out.
It's got everything. It's got a twist, and it's bent, and all kinds of stuff.
Lots of stretch.
The shoulders are contorted back. That arm at the top is really coming, like stretching to come round. One thing that, is good to look for in these poses is you can see the rib cage, and that's generally going to be a fairly solid, rigid mass. You can see the pelvis, and that's going to be a fairly solid mass. And then you can see the sort of stretchy, squashy bit in the middle. And on the one side, on the side nearer to us, it's kind of bent and squashed. And you can see the more sharp folding of the torso there. And on the other side, it's stretching, so it's going to be quite smooth. And so if you can capture that, that's going to be quite nice.
Yeah, it's because normally I try to imagine what model is doing through my own body, but this one I really
this one is difficult.
Ages to work it out to feel actual pose.
It looks like you overthought that a little bit.
Maybe
what's happening in the pose.
Yeah.
And it shows it's a good exercise to do that.
Yes, you concentrated on that curve of torso. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes, I don't know, with some poses, like, when you use geometric shapes, rather than really breaking it down and understanding it, sometimes it's good to just draw what you're seeing.
No, that's true.
Right?
That's true. I couldn't finish this one in time, even though this is the longest pose. I think you're right. I thought too much to work it out. Actual pose, a movement, I think.
Yeah. It's good exercise then, right?
Yeah, it is. Very good.
So we're into the last minute with this one. and so just time to put down some finishing touches. But you're getting into watercolors, right?
Yes.
And that's kind of a nice way to bring together linear and tonal, because you can have have some flat shapes, you can keep some outlines and some contours together with your watercolors.
Because brush, even though it's a line, brush stroke itself has got the width and depth by controlling with your hand. So yes, watercolor maybe make a bridge between line and the tonal gradation. Yeah.
So I hope you guys are enjoying this draw along and maybe even drawing yourself. I just wanted to thank you guys for all your support. When you hit the like button and leave comments and stuff, I really, really appreciate it. And it keeps us going, making this channel. It's been a lot of fun. And, we're really growing quite quickly now, which is quite cool, quite fun to see that.
That's really nice.
Yeah. And if you have any friends or other people that you think could benefit from the tutorials and stuff that we put up, then let them know about Love Life Drawing. Cool. Is there anything else you wanted to say before we sign off?
I just realized that the 30-second exercise is a really great way to warming up.
So I think it's fantastic.
Highly recommend. So go to Croquis Cafe, and I don't know if it's a 15 seconds. It's workable to me, but 30 seconds is a good exercise.
I think that's true. I think it's really like a minute is sometimes is a bit long. You can overthink things in a minute, but in 30 seconds, you're just going.
Yeah, more intuition.
Right. And then you get into that intuitive, just go for it, bold mindset from the 30 seconds. And then you take that into your minute-long poses, and then you take that into your 5-minute poses and your longer poses.
Yeah, it's ideal, isn't it? If you can carry on even 5 minutes, if you can carry on that intuitive mode, probably result will be very good.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you very much. Bye.